Good morning, students. Welcome back to Social Online Class. Students, I am very happy to meet you after a long gap. Are you fine, students? I hope you all are fine and safe by the grace of God. Students, I wish all the students a very happy new year. Okay, students, in the last month, you wrote OFIL examination, is it? How did you write the exam, students? Very good. You wrote well, is it? I hope you wrote well. Okay, students. Today onwards, I am going to continue the teaching. Okay, day-to-day portion you have to learn. Students, now which part we are learning? Have you remember? Very good. Now we are learning economics part. Is it? From economics part, which lesson now we are learning? Excellent. Now we are learning economics lesson 1, cross domestic product and its growth. Is it? From this lesson, few important points we learned in the previous classes. Because of after a long gap, today I am going to recall few important points about previous class portion from this lesson. Okay, okay, students, listen very carefully. From this lesson, in the first class, what are the things we learned? Have you remember? Very good. We learned about definition of GDP and um, the introduction. Is it? Introduction and definition of GDP we learned in the first class. Is it? Students, have you remember what is the definition of GDP? Very good. GDP, the definition of GDP is the total value of output of goods and services produced by the factors of production within the geographical boundaries of the country. Is it? That means gross domestic product is the total value of output. Okay, how much production through goods and services producing, that production is gross domestic product. That production is measured by gross domestic product. Okay, then from this definition, two things are there, is it? The first one is goods and services. Goods and services, that means already in the class, first class I explained tangible items and intangible items, that is goods and services, is it? I hope you understood about that. Then second one is market value. Market value, that means price, that is the price at which goods and services are sold in the market. Okay, goods and services in the sold in the market. Then finally, final goods and services. Final goods and services, that means only the final goods and services were included to the GDP. For example, in a hotel, they are preparing so many things from the hotel, but many intermediate goods are added to the final goods, is it? But the intermediate goods are did not add a measure to the GDP. The final goods alone added to the to measure the GDP, is it? Then in the next class we learned about national income, is it? Next class we learned about national income. Students, what is the definition of national income? Have you remember? Very good. National income is a measure of the total value of goods and services produced by an economy over a period of time, normally a year. This is very, very important 2 mark question. Okay. National income is the measure of the total value of goods and services produced by an economy over a particular period of time. Okay. Then this national income is otherwise called national product or national dividend. National product or national dividend, is it? Then from here, one 5 mark, important 5 mark questions we learned, is it? Have you remembered, students, which question we learned from national income? Very good. Various terms associated with measuring of national income, is it? How many terms are there? seven terms. Is it seven terms associated with the measuring of national income? Is it? Students, what are the seven terms associated to measuring of national income? Very good. Gross national product, gross domestic product, net national product, net domestic product, per capita income, personal income, disposable income. Is it? Gross national product means the total value of goods and services produced from a country. Okay, then gross domestic product means gross goods and services produced, how much production, that means output, the total value of output of goods and services. Okay, then net national product means adjustment, that means some adjustment with regard to depreciation to net national product by deducting the value of depreciation from gross national product. Okay, then net domestic product, that means it is a part of gross domestic product, and also this product is obtained from the gross domestic product by deducting the quantum of tear and wear expenses. Okay, then next one is the per capita income. Per capita income or output per person is a indicator to show the living standard of people in a country. That means it obtained dividing the national income by population of a country. That means the formula is per capita income is equal to national income divided by population. Okay, then the next one is the personal income. Is it? Personal income, that means individually one person's income, total money income received by individuals is called the personal income. Okay, the personal income. Then the last one is the disposable income. The last one is the disposable income. Disposable income, that means it is one of the actual income, that means the income of individual and families. Disposable income means the income of individual and one particular families. Okay, these are the terms associated with measuring of national income. Okay, then the next class we learned about gross domestic product. That means the definition of gross domestic product and methods of GDP calculating. Okay, first of all, we learned about the definition of gross domestic product. That means GDP of India includes only the market value of goods and services produced in India. That example also I told, is it market value. That means the apple produced Kashmir are included GDP because Kashmir is in India, but the apples produced California, that particular apple is sold in Indian market, but it is not included to the GDP because California is in US. Okay, so what are the things produced in India? That particular production's value only added to GDP. Okay, then next we learned about produced during the time of period. That means the GDP is measured both annually and quarterly. Is it? Annually means 1 year to year. That means the March month, April 1st to the next year March 31st calculated 1 year. For example, April 1st 2017 to March 31 2008 is measured to 1 year GDP. Then quarterly means April, May, June first quarterly, July, August, September second quarter, October, November, December third quarter, January, February, March fourth quarter. Is it? Likewise, they are measuring the GDP. Then next we learned about methods of GDP calculating. How many methods are using to calculating GDP? Very good. Expenditure approach, income approach, value added approach. Is it? Expenditure approach, income approach, value added approach. This is also one of the 5-mark important question. Is it, students? Expenditure approach. Expenditure approach means how much expending. Okay, they are calculating how much one person or one particular institution or one particular industries, how much they are expending. It is the method that GDP is measured by adding the expenditure on all the final goods and services produced in the country during a particular period of time. Okay. Then income approach. Income approach means from how much one man or woman earning. How much earning of one man and women that is involved in producing goods and services. Okay, that is income approach. Then value added approach means final goods. For example, I told in a hotel they are preparing a cup of tea. A cup of tea's amount is 10 rupees. They are adding some of the intermediate goods. Is it? They are adding sugar, tea powder, etc. Thus, intermediate goods also goods value is not included. Totally they are adding that particular intermediate goods values also in the final goods. Okay, because very difficult to measure that intermediate and final goods separately. So the final goods value only measured by the GDP. Okay, that is value added approach. That means value added approach means the sum of the value added by all the intermediate goods used in production gives us the total value of the final goods produced in the economy. Okay. The next we learned about one important 2-mark question. The importance of GDP. Importance of GDP. Study of economic growth. Through GDP we can know about the growth of economic condition in particular country, then problems of inflation, deflation, panavikam, panavatam, is it problems, that problems we can understood. Then comparison of developed countries in the world, what are the countries are developed, what are the countries are going to developing. Okay, that explanation also we know about through GDP. Then purchasing power, we can estimate the purchasing power, we can know about the public sector, then through that areas we can put some of the economic planning to improve the economic condition of one particular country. These all things are we are getting through GDP. So this is the importance of GDP, is it? Then next we learned about the limitation of GDP. In the last class we learned about the limitation of GDP. There are 4 types of limitations are there, is it? The first one is the several important goods and services are left out of the GDP. Second one is the GDP measures only quantity but not quality. Third one is GDP does not tell us about the way income is distributed in the country. Last one is the GDP does not tell us about the kind of life people are living. That is limitation of GDP. For example, the first one is several important goods and services are left out of the GDP. For example, I told is it only the goods and services sold in the market only added to the that value only added to the GDP. The parents are doing some of the services to their children. That particular services are not added to measuring the GDP. So then second one is some of the quantity only added measuring to GDP. The quality are not added to GDP. Then and GDP does not tell us about the way of income is distributed in the country. That means GDP won't say how that particular income is distributed to the people. Some people, some wealths are distributed to some particular people alone. Some people won't get that wealth of their country. Okay, so an unequally distribution, that unequally distributing all the things, that particular details we cannot know about through this GDP. Finally, it does not tell us about the kind of people, life of people are living. That means how the people are living, how the people's standard of life we we cannot know about through this GDP. These are the limitation of GDP. Okay. Then finally we learned about composition of gross domestic product. Is it, students? Composition of gross domestic product. This is also one of the important 5-mark question, is it? Finally we learned about composition of gross domestic product. Okay. Then Indian economy, that means Indian economy is broadly divided into 3 sectors, that is agriculture sector, industrial sector and services sector. Okay, agriculture sector. Agriculture sector is otherwise called Very good. Primary sector. Is it? Secondary sector is otherwise called? Excellent. Industrial sector. Tertiary sector is otherwise called? Very good. Service sector. Is it? Primary sector or agricultural sector. That means agricultural based allied activities, production of raw materials. These all things are included into primary sector or agricultural sector. Okay. Then secondary sector means industries. Through industries, what are the production they are doing? That particular production's market value is included into this GDP. That is secondary sector or industrial sector. Then the last one is tertiary or service sector. Tertiary or service sector. Tertiary sector is known as service sector. It includes government, scientific research, transport, communication, trade. That is some of the services. Okay, this is some of the services that particular services through that services how much value they are getting, that particular value also added in the GDP. So the composition of GDP is calculated through three ways: primary sector or agriculture sector, secondary sector or industrial sector, tertiary sector or service sector. Okay, can you understand, students? These are the things we learned in the previous class. Is it? These are the things we learned in the previous class. Okay, students, and also I gave some question answers. I hope you learned, but you prepared the half-yearly exams portion. Is it so? No problem, students. So today onwards, you started to learn. Okay, you started to learn. Today onwards, you learn these all question answers. I gave some question answers. The end of this class, I remember that question answers. So today onwards, you started to learn this lesson. Okay, students. Okay. Now let us come forward to today's class. Okay, students. Today, one few small topic alone I am going to teach. The next class onwards, I will teach remaining topic. Okay, today we are going to learn about the contribution of different sectors in GDP of India. Today I am going to teach the contribution of different sectors in GDP of India. Listen, students, service sector is the largest sector of India. Is it? Which sector is the largest sector of India? Very good. Service sector. Okay, services sector is the largest sector of India. The cross value added CVA, the abbreviation of CVA is cross value added at current prices for services sector is estimated at 92.26 lakh crore in 2018 to 19. Listen very careful, students. 2018 to 19, how much current prices are estimated through service sector means 92.26 lakhs crore. Okay, then this particular service sector accounts for 54.40% of total India's GVA of 169.61 lakh crore Indian rupees. Okay, with GVA of rupees 50.43 lakh crore, the industry sector contribute 29.73%, agriculture and other allied sectors produced 15.87%. Okay, then India is second larger producer of agriculture product. India is the second larger producer of agriculture product. One of the one word question, you mark it. Okay, students. India is the second larger producer of agricultural product. India accounts 7.39% of total global agricultural output. Listen very careful. India is the second largest producer of agriculture. How? India alone accounts 7.39% of total global agricultural output. Okay. Then In industrial sector, India world rank is 6th. That is, India is the 6th largest producer of industrial area. Okay. Then, and in service sector, India would rank in 8th rank. Okay. Agriculture for India get second rank. Then service for India get 6th rank, and through um the industrial areas India get 6th rank, and the service through India get the 8th rank. Okay. Then contribution of agriculture sector in Indian economy is much higher than the world's average contribution of industry and service sector, that is lower than world's average 30 percentage for industry sector and 63 percentage for service sector. Listen students, the contribution, that means the contribution of agricultural sector in Indian economy is much higher than world average, that means 6.4 percentage. Contribution of agriculture sector in Indian economy is more than 6.4 percentage. Then the contribution of industry and service sector is lower than world average 30 percentage. For industry sector, 63 percentage for service sector. Okay, 30 percentage for industry sector and 60 percentage for service sector. Okay, then cross value added, GVA, cross value added, that means it is GVA, the abbreviation of GVA is cross value added. Cross value added is the measure of the value of goods and services produced in an area, industry or sector of an economy. Okay, the cross value added is the measure of the value of goods and services produced in an area, industry or sector of an economy. Okay, in national accounts, GVA is output minus intermediate consumption. GVA means output minus intermediate consumption. Okay, this GVA is linked as a measurement to gross domestic product. Both are measure of output. GVA and GDP is equal because both have the link. Why? The link does a measurement to gross domestic product, as both are measure of output. That means the gross domestic product and GVA both are measuring the output alone. Okay, so the relationship is defined as GVA plus taxes on products minus subsidies on products equal to GDP. Okay, GVA is equal to GDP plus subsidies minus direct and sale taxes. Okay, then the next one is the sector-wise contribution in GDP of India. Sector-wise contribution of GDP of India. That means each year how much contributed GDP through agriculture, industry and services. From here, two more question is there. Okay, students. Now listen here. 1950 to 51, through agriculture, India contributed 51.81 percentage. Okay, through industry 14.16 percentage, through services 33.25 percentage. Okay, then in the year 1960 to 61, through agriculture 42.56, industry 19.30, services 38.25. Okay, in the next year 70 to 71, agricultural wise 41.95, industrial wise 20.48, service wise 37.22. Okay, then 80 to 81. In the year 18 to 81, agricultural wise 35.39, industry wise 24.29, then services wise 39.92. Then 90 to 91, 29.02, 26.45, 44.18. Then 2000 to 2001, 23.02, 26, 50.98. Then 2010 to 11, 18.21, 27.16, 54.64. Then 2011 to 12, 17.86, 27.22, 54.91. Then 2012 to 13, 17.52, 26.21, 56.27. 2013 to 14, 18.20, 24.77, 57.30. Then 2015 to 16, 17.07, 29.08, 52.05. 2016 to 17, 17.09, 29.03, 52.08. Then the last one is 2017 to 18. The year 2017 to 18, through agriculture in India, how much GDP they are getting means 17.01, industrial wise 29.01, and services wise 53.09 percentage income we are getting through these all sectors. Okay, the last one is very important, 1-2 mark question. Okay, students. Then the last topic is sector wise contribution of GDP 2018 to 19. In the year 2018 to 19, sector wise how much contributed through GDP in our country. Okay, through agriculture sector 15.87 percentage we are contributing. Through agriculture, forestry and fishing wise 15.87 percentage we are contributing. Then industrial sectors wise 23.73 percentage we are contributing. Then mining and quarrying 2.7 percentage. Manufacturing wise 16.83 percentage. Electricity, gas, water supply and other utility services wise 2.67 percentage contributed. Then construction wise 7.54 percentage is contributing. Services sector wise 54.4 percentage are contributed. Then trade, hotels, transport, communication and services related to broadcasting wise 18.62 percentage we are contributed. Then financial, real estate and services wise 20.96 percentage we are contributing. Then public administrative, defense and other services wise 14.82 percentage we are contributing. Okay, can you understand students? Through these all areas, through service sector wise we are contributing more. From here, through service sector wise we are contributing more. For example, through services sector wise we are contributing 54.4 percentage income. Okay, through services sector wise we are contributing 54.4 percentage we are contributing. Okay, now students, now we learned about the contribution of different sectors in GDP of India. That means gross value added, GVA. Is it GVA? GVA is the measure of the total goods and services produced in an area, industry or sector of an economy. Okay, it is linked as a measure of gross domestic product because both are measures only output. Okay, both are measures only output. So, the GVA and GDP has the relationship. Okay, then we learned about some of the contribution of GDP, sector wise contribution of GDP. Is it from there through 2017 to 18, agricultural wise we contributed 17.01 percentage, industrial wise we are contributed 29.01 percentage, and services wise we contributed 53.09 percentage. Then finally we learned about the sector wise contribution of GDP, agricultural wise some how much that one picture they are given percentage share. From that picture we know about how much percentage we are contributed through GDP in our country. From here the service sector wise we are contributing more. How much percentage we are contributing through service wise, students? Very good. 54.4 percentage we are contributing alone. 54.4 percentage we are contributing only through services sector. Okay, can you understand, students? Continuation of this lesson I will teach the next class. Okay, now all are take your book, students. Now all are take your book. All are take your book. turn the exercise pages. Turn the exercise pages. Turn the exercise pages. Short answer. Okay, give the short answer. Short answers. Already I gave. Define national income. What is meant by gross domestic product? Importance of gross domestic product. Per capita income. Value added approach with example. Then sectors. Value added approach with example. Up to that question I gave. Then name the sectors contribute to be GDP with example. That also I gave. Then seventh question. Now you have to mark the seventh question. Write the sector-wise Indian GDP composition in 2017. Students, that is seventh question in the new book did not given. So, book inside question you have to mark that question. The sector-wise Indian GDP composition 2017. Okay, 2017 sector distribution 2017. You take that tabular column. Tabular column contribution of different sectors in GDP of India heading. From there one tabular column is given. Is it sector wise contribution in GDP of India? From that tabular column, the last line 2017 to 18 you have to mark that one. 2017 to 18 17.01%, 29.01% industrial wise, and 53.09 service wise. That question, important question, book inside question you have to mark. Okay, and also the same page another one tabular column is given, is another one box is given, cross value added GVA. Nearby you write the question, define cross value added. That also book inside question. Okay, students, define cross value added. You mark that box. Cross value added is the measure of the value of goods and services produced in an area, industry or sector of an economy. That much enough. You mark it. These two book inside question alone. How for today's portion. Today you have to learn the previous class question answers from this lesson. Okay, then tomorrow onwards I will teach the next remaining portions. Okay, students, we will meet the next class. Thank you.